Argentina had 0 shots in a World Cup final, 90 minutes, not one. According to Opta, the first team in World Cup final history to manage that. Spain had 15. Argentina played the last 24 minutes with 10 men, and Spain still needed the 106th minute to find the one goal that separated them. That is not a team collapsing. That is a system finally cracking under maximum load and refusing to break all the way. The coach who built that system just finished his 103rd match in charge of Argentina with the longest unbeaten run in the country's history behind him. How does that happen? How does a team go an entire regulation without a single shot on goal in a World Cup final and still come within one goal in extra time of winning it? That's not a fluke. That's not a team hanging on by accident. This is the story of what he built and what it finally took to break it. Before any of the trophies, there was this. After Argentina crashed out of the 2018 World Cup, the national team was fractured. Its relationship with its own fans and its own media was described plainly as broken. Lionel Messi, the best player most of them had ever seen, was being booed by his own country's supporters. Think about how that sentence even makes sense. The greatest talent of a generation whistled at by the people he played for. When the Federation handed the job to Lionel Scaloni, most of Argentina didn't read it as a bold new direction. They read it as an admission that there was no plan left. He had no senior head coach experience anywhere in his career. Diego Maradona said, publicly, that Scaloni couldn't even direct traffic. Bigger names had already said no before it reached him. Diego Simeone, Marcelo Gallardo, Mauricio Pochettino. Scaloni was the man left standing when nobody better wanted the job. Only then does the diagnosis matter, after you felt what it was like to live inside that collapse, not before. Between 1995 and 2007, Argentina won 5 FIFA Under-20 World Cup titles. 5. A pipeline that fed the senior team elite players for over a decade, one generation handing quality straight to the next without a gap. Then it simply stopped producing at that level, and nobody fixed it in time. The problem was not that Argentina stopped producing stars, the problem was that the stars no longer solved the whole team. By the mid-2010, Argentina were demonstrably weak in 3 specific positions: goalkeeper, fullback, and center back. Not glamorous positions, not positions one transcendent attacker can fix by himself, no matter how brilliant he is. Exactly the positions that expose a team the moment that attacker isn't enough on his own. That's not a mystery, that's a diagnosis. And the diagnosis explains everything that came next, not a tactical manifesto, a set of specific human decisions. He built his coaching staff out of former Argentina internationals: Pablo Aimar, Walter Samuel, Roberto Ayala. Men who had worn the shirt themselves, who understood exactly what it cost to carry that badge under pressure. That gave the appointment internal credibility it had 0 credibility to draw on from outside. The dressing room didn't need to be convinced by a resume. It needed to trust the room. His first real move wasn't tactical at all. It was convincing Messi back into the project after 2018, at a moment when picking him wasn't even the obvious call, when a large part of the Argentine public had already turned on him. That decision alone tells you what kind of rebuild this was going to be. Not one built around discarding the star, one built around rebuilding the room he stood inside. His football identity became flexibility itself. Always the need for balance, he said. Choosing the players best suited for that match, not forcing one fixed idea onto every opponent regardless of who they were facing. Reuters described his later approach the same way. Searching for the best solution to every match, not the same solution for every match. The team even earned a nickname for it, La Scaloneta, adaptability treated as an identity, not a compromise or a lack of conviction. Before Scaloni, Argentina were a spotlight pointed at one man. He built something different, a power grid. You already know Argentina won things. The trophies aren't the reveal here. They came later, not as decoration, as stress tests. 2021, the Copa America ended a 28-year drought without a major title. 2022, the Finalissima proved it could beat Europe, 3-0 over the reigning European champions. December 2022, Qatar proved it could survive chaos, the World Cup itself, beating France on penalties after a 3-3 final, Di Maria scoring, Emiliano Martinez saving the shootout, a team-wide effort, not a solo one. 2024, a record 16th Copa America proved it could last. By the time Argentina reached tonight's final, Scaloni's record stood at over 100 matches, roughly 75 wins, and a 36-match unbeaten run. That's not a hot streak, that's a body of work. Here's what keeps this story honest instead of a highlight reel. The youth pipeline is healing. It is not solved. Argentina reached the Under-20 World Cup final in 2025 for the first time since 2007 and lost it to Morocco. That result matters precisely because it refuses to let this become a clean fairy tale. The belt is moving again. It isn't moving at full speed yet. And look at tonight's starting 11. 8 of the 11 players who started this final also started the 2022 final. That continuity has been the whole point of what Scaloni built. The same trusted spine, held together across 2 entire World Cup cycles. But it also raises the real question nobody in Argentina wants to ask out loud yet. What happens once this exact generation ages out together at roughly the same time? A power grid still needs new stations eventually. Not every part of the system has been rebuilt at the same pace as the rest of it. So here's what actually happened tonight. No embellishment, just the result. First, Spain won the final 1-0 after extra time. Ferran Torres scored in the 106th minute. Argentina played the last 24 minutes with 10 men after Enzo Fernandez, one of the 8 players who had started both the 2022 and 2026 finals, was sent off in stoppage time. Spain had 20 shots across the full 120 minutes. Argentina had none through 90 and only found their first from Messi deep into extra time. On paper, it looks like Spain controlled everything. On the pitch, it felt like Argentina kept losing pieces and still refusing to fall. Spain needed 20 shots and 106 minutes to score once against a team that kept losing ways to hurt them and still refused to disappear. The job became survival, close the spaces, delay the ending, keep the final alive for one moment that might never come. And for 105 minutes down a man for the final stretch against the best attacking side in the tournament, that plan very nearly worked. Spain did not blow the grid apart. They overloaded it circuit by circuit until one light finally failed. For 20 years, Argentina tried to point a brighter spotlight at one man, hoping brilliance alone would be enough when it mattered most. Lionel Scaloni built something different, a power grid. Tonight, for the first time since he built it, the lights finally went out. But it took 106 minutes, 10 men, and the best attacking team left in the tournament to do it. Argentina didn't lose the World Cup because they went back to needing one man to save them, and they lost it because for one night, even a power grid runs low. That's not the story of a team that never fixed its problem. It's the story of a team that fixed its oldest problem so well that even on the night it ran out of attack, it still took extra time and a red card to switch the lights off finally.